Part 2D. There are several forms in which you can present this before and after picture. You can do it through narration or the testimonial. You can do it by using the pitch technique of product ridicule. Or you can simply present straight description of the old product or problem, with all its detailed drawbacks, and then follow it directly with a similar description of your new solution in a perfectly parallel style, item by item. Here, as an example, is a passage from an ad selling a new kind of spark plug. Someday, if you ever have a spare moment, lift one of the old-fashioned spark plugs out of your car. Look at the bottom of that plug. In 10 seconds, I learn more about gas waste than any book could teach you in a year. If that plug has been in your car 3,000 miles or more, then what you'll see on the bottom of that plug is filth. The firing point of that plug, the most important single point in your car, will be choked, strangled and fouled with black, filthy carbon. Carbon that robs your car of as much as 20 vital horsepower every time your engine fires. Now, wipe that filth away and look at the firing point itself. This is the power point of your car. The pinhead of electricity that turns raw gas into 300 horsepower of driving energy. And what is the condition of that point? Corroded, pitted, scarred and worn. Hardly able to deliver half the spark that it should. Wasting gas, wasting money every time you put your foot down on the gas pedal. Yes. You pay $2,000, $83,000, $84,000 for your car. And a single 99C part robs you of the real power and enjoyment of that car. At last. A plug so smart that it thinks. Now look at the new plug, the revolutionary power flash plug, that I'll send you for exactly the same price that you're paying today. Here is a plug that has not only one firing point but hundreds of potential firing points. That actually eliminates that deadly carbon, burns it up, throws it away, keeps itself sparkling clean on every single stroke. The full, blazing horsepower that was there when your car was brand new is still there as much as 30,000 miles later. But that's just the beginning. This plug actually gives you the full firing power you need for every driving condition: smooth, dependable power for city stop and go driving, effortless horsepower for the parkway, blazing reserve power for super speeds. And that's still just the beginning. Best of all, this is one of the toughest, strongest, longest-lasting plugs ever made. You could actually pound it against a concrete wall with a hammer without even denting it, and this amazing plug would still fire clean and hot with 30,000 miles. Yes! These fantastic plugs give you such consistent, long-lasting service that we can afford to make one of the most amazing guarantees you have ever heard. Show how easy it is to get these benefits. 10. To repeat again, the variations are limitless. At every point that your product touches the life of your prospect: price, availability, ease of use, durability, portability, replacement and maintenance, even unwrapping the carton it comes in, it furnishes you with another fresh perspective in which to reiterate and re-emphasize its benefits. Here is just one example stressing the ease of application and contrasting it with the tremendous benefits that application gives you. 1 week from today, you are going down to your car. You are going to lift up its hood. You are going to take the black, shining can we send you, and you are going to simply pour its contents into the oil filler pipe of your car. That's all the work you will do. That's all the skill you need. And yet in that 30 seconds work, you will improve that car's performance in 8 different ways. With just 30 seconds work, you will strengthen the engine of that car so greatly that you will get 2 to 3 to 5 miles more per gallon from every gallon you buy. With just 30 seconds work, you will lubricate that engine so thoroughly that you will drive up to 5,000 full miles without even looking at your oil. And, with just 30 seconds work, you will protect that engine so completely that you will add up to 4 years to its power in life. You will push off the ring and piston jobs that might cost you $75 each for years. Use metaphor, analogy, imagination. 11. Nor do you have to be satisfied merely with a statement of rate fact. There are infinite opportunities for the use of imagination to present those facts in more dramatic form, outside of the rigidly realistic approach. Some of the more famous examples are the Alexander Hamilton ad of the 20s, The Glory of the Upward Path. Or the Big Ben alarm clock series, first he whispers, then he shouts. Or this passage from perhaps the most long-lived ad of them all, the Shen Van Cody English course, in which a manual of instruction is personified and given actual life. The basic principle of Mr. Cody's new method is habit forming. Anyone can learn to write and speak correctly by constantly using the correct forms. But how is one to know in each case which is correct? Mr. Cod solves this problem in a simple, unique, sensible way. 100% self-correcting device. Suppose he himself were standing forever at your elbow. Every time you mispronounced or misspelled a word, every time you violated correct grammatical usage, every time you used the wrong word to express what you meant, suppose you could hear him whisper. That is wrong, it should be thus and so. In a short time you would habitually use the correct form and the right words in speaking and writing. If you continued to make the same mistakes over and over again, each time patiently he would tell you what was right. He would, as it were, be an everlasting mentor beside you, a mentor who would not laugh at you, but who would, on the contrary, support and help you. This 100% self-correcting device does exactly this thing. It is Mr. Cody's silent voice behind you, reach to speak out whenever you commit an error. It finds your mistakes and concentrates on them. You do not need to study anything you already know. There are no rules to memorize. Before you're done, summarize. 12. To repeat again, there is an infinite number of new approaches. No list of them can ever be complete, because new applications, new perspectives, new viewpoints are being discovered every day. Which of them, and how many of them you will use in a single ad, is a matter of timing and balance, as you begin to put your ad together. As long as each additional fresh perspective continues to hold the dominant desire in your prospect's mind, use it. But if the additional perspective is not different or dramatic enough to renew your prospect's interest in your claims, then leave it out. To a large degree, this is a matter of sensitivity and originality on your part. The sensitivity comes from intuition and experience, the originality often comes from nothing more than hard work. And perhaps the best way to measure the balance between the two, the critical turning point, where reinforcement becomes mere repetition, is to reread your ad some days after you have first written it. There are, however, two conventional summary devices, which are almost always used, and which must be mentioned here. The first of these is the catalog. This is a brief condensed listing of all the product's performances, benefits, and/or applications, one after the other, without description, dramatization, or elaboration. Each of the benefits or perspectives which might have been given 3 or 4 paragraphs at the beginning of your ad, is here summed up in a single line. There are two types of catalogs. Those that expand desire horizontally, among ever-enlarging groups of applications or prospects. And those that expand desire vertically, by deepening or magnifying that desire. Here is an example of the first type of catalog used to list all the applications of a blowtorch kit that might conceivably sell it to a homeowner, all in one. Blowtorch, paint remover, soldering iron. Professional HPE propane torch also doubles as fast, safe paint remover and precision soldering iron. Does 101 jobs around the house, including laying tile, removing paint or put, thawing frozen pipes, sweating copper tubing, soldering gutters, repairing electrical work, starting charcoal fires and fireplaces, burning weeds, parasites and damp leaves, thawing frozen locks, light brazing, loosening rusty bolts, car body and fender repairs, soldering aluminum, silver and jewelry and other hobbies, and many, many more. It is quite obvious, of course, that this catalog device uses the shotgun approach. Up to this point, your ad has taken a single dominant desire, and developed that single desire to the point of absolute maximum intensity. This willingness to gamble on being precisely right, on having chosen the one most powerful appeal, gives your ad the impact of a high velocity. But it also demands the accuracy of an expert marksman. Now through this multi-appeal catalog listing you have a last-minute chance to hedge. Now you shotgun with every wide-angled appeal, benefit and application in the book. Before you were heightening a single desire, by picturing the satisfaction of that desire in a dozen different settings. Now you are building an effect of a different kind, one of sheer magnitude, of number, of infinite possibilities, in the hope that any one of them, or the combination of all of them working together, may provide the extra added push that closes the sale. This catalog technique was born in mail order book selling, and here it has its widest application. This next example is a continuation of the memory book ad we quoted above. But this is just the beginning of the miracles you can perform with your memory. This secret is just one of the over 50 memory intensifers contained in this book. For instance, remembering names and faces. How would you like to walk into a room of 20 new people, meet each one of them only once, and then remember their names, automatically, for as long as you live? Think of the advantage in business, when you can call every customer by his first name, and then ask for his wife and children, instantly, by their first names. Think of the impression you'll make, when you ask him about the state of his business, his hobbies, when you repeat, almost word for word, the last conversation you had with him. Think of becoming the celebrity at your club as the member, who knows everyone, who can be depended on to avoid mistakes, to win new friends for the organization, to get things done. But this is still just the beginning. This book teaches you to remember exactly what you hear and read. It teaches you how to memorize a speech or a sales presentation. In minutes. It teaches you how to remember every card played when you relax at night. It shows you how to improve the depth and force and power of your mind. How to double your vocabulary, learn dozens of ways, to burn new words into your memory, learn their meanings, without looking them up, repeat entire phrases, sentences, paragraphs from the great writers. You'll be able to learn a foreign language in a few short weeks at least 3 to 4 times as quickly and easily as you could without the system. You'll be able to hear a joke, story or anecdote only once, and then repeat it in the same hilarious way. Yes! And most important of all, this book will show you how to professionally organize your mind, do what you have to do in half the time. You'll remember dates, addresses, appointments automatically. You'll carry dozens of telephone numbers in the file cabinet of our mind. Let me send you this book, and prove these facts to you in one short evening, or it doesn't cost you a penny. The second use for this catalog technique is to pile desire upon desire, rather than application upon application. It is again a building of magnitude, of number, but this time in summary of all the perspectives that have gone before. This example is taken from the fish lure ad quoted above. Here's what this amazing, self-propelled fish lure does for you. First of all, this self-propelled fish lure frees you forever from the filthy task of digging for worms and crawlers, catching frogs, or paying $500 to $1 for a bucket of minnows that die on you before you can even get them in the boat. It frees you forever from paying $3, $84 or even $85 for a fancy, dead-as-a-duck lure that only works when you tow it, that could never actually swim under its own power behind you. It frees you forever from long, torturous hours of careful work, trying your own flies and lures, because you just couldn't buy anything, anywhere, that would reach out beyond your farthest casts, and pull in the fish for you. It means that tomorrow, you can go out in fresh or jolt water, and haul in the eye-poppers with a lure that actually drives them into a frenzy with its crippled minnow action and its dying bee sound. It means that you can weigh down your boat with big-mouth bass, small-mouth bass, catfish, dogfish, wherever you drop a line. It means that you can fish better novice or pro sound asleep at the bottom of your boat than most fishermen, sweating and casting till their arms ache with ordinary, dead-as-a-duck lures. And it means that you'll have the time of your life, not only amazing your friends and family with the hauls you drag home behind you, but just watching your fisherman friends' faces the first time they see this incredible self-propelled fish lure in action. Their ears will almost pop out of their heads. Put your guarantee to work. 13. And finally, as you close the sale, as you ask the prospect for action, as you state the terms of your guarantee, you can turn that guarantee into the climax of your ad. The last brief summary of your product's performance is reinforced at every step by the positive reassertion of that guarantee. Here is an example from the spark plug ad quoted above. Guaranteed for 2 full years. Yes. You try these amazing Power Flash spark plugs for 2 full years entirely at our risk. First, test them for 1 full month for Surging Po.